The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Weekly Warp Pipe Podcast, a podcast dedicated to retro video games, 80s and 90s toys, and all things nostalgia. We're part of the Dorkening Podcast Network, and we're brought to you by Deadly Grounds Coffee. Coffee you can die for. And this week, we're jumping in the Warp Pipe, and, well, we're actually not going back. We're going to be reflecting on the new year, 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. It's the first episode of 2023, and we're going to be taking a look at some of our resolutions, gaming resolutions, what games we're going to play, something to do with video game collecting. We're kind of keep it themed to that, podcast goals. So it's going to be a fun one to see what we have to offer for 2023. And guys, be sure to check out the weeklywarpipe.com for all the latest episodes and pick up some merch like this coffee mug. We got magnets and stickers, so drop us a line if you want to get one. Before we get into the episode though, guys, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
What's up, guys? I'm RussLyman.
What's up, guys? It's me, your buddy, NES Addict.
And a Happy New Year.
That's right, 2023. That's kind of weird to say.
Yeah, it's a new year, new season, I guess. I don't know. Season 2 of the Weekly Warp Pipe.
Season 2 begins.
That's it. And we figured we'd kick this year's episode off with New Year's resolutions. Everyone's got them.
That's
We're
right.
talking about them. We kind of broke down the resolutions into subtopics. We're going to go through our collection goals, gaming goals, podcast goals, social media goals, and number 5 would be personal goals.
I like it.
Yeah, and we'll hear from you guys as well. I put up a couple polls on our YouTube page if you guys wanted to participate in those. Follow us on the YouTubes, and you can check out the weeklywarpipe.com for all our episodes as well. Let's get into it then. Collection goals.
I think my biggest collection goal is probably to thin out the collection a little bit, maybe.
Any certain systems or as a whole?
I think some of the oddities might be time for them to go.
I did see you posting a lot on TikTok, your new series of should you keep it or should you sell it?
Yeah, that series didn't last very long because I haven't done anything.
I didn't sell anything.
I haven't sold a damn thing, first off, and number 2, I haven't posted anything else about it yet. But there are some things I think I need to part with. I've had them for a while now, and I think I would rather sell some of those things and then get some new Nintendo games to review on TikTok. Well, not review, but ask if anyone remembers.
Right.
But the space in this room, if you were in here with me and you were looking around, you'd be like, wow, it's a dump in there. Like what you guys see looks pretty, but there's this, I'm constantly stepping over stuff and it's just junk everywhere. There's just random crap.
To preface it, Jay's game room is in a walk-in closet.
Yeah, for those of you that haven't actually been here for Southeast Game Exchange and been in my house or know of me on YouTube, it's a his and hers closet that my wife gave up because I was desperate for a game room. And so it's very functional when it's clean. But right now there's just a few extra things that I think if I got rid of, it might be a little easier. So I'm going to eventually sell some stuff, and I think just focus completely on NES, maybe a few Super Nintendo games. I don't know. I've toyed with the idea of, the idea of selling my Master System, not my Master System, my TurboGrafx 16.
Gotcha.
For some reason, I see those two as being similar. I don't know why. Maybe because they're both black and long, elongated.
Right.
Anyway,
Okay, I can see it.
but I only have 2 games for it. And it's kind of just a novelty in my opinion. So I think I might possibly sell that. That's the one that I think is going to be the hardest to sell. Not hardest to get like sell as in someone won't buy it, but like the hardest for me to let go of. But I do have the mini system.
That's what I say. They do have the TurboGrafx Mini, so
I have that. So I think maybe, that might be my way out. The other thing I've toyed with is the idea of getting rid of my boxed Virtual Boy, because that takes up some space. And I also have a Super Famicom, a Famicom, and a Famicom disk system that I never really do anything with. They were just more for looks, and novelty also.
Shelf pieces.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm thinking about, that's some of the stuff I'm thinking about. Maybe you guys think I'm crazy. Let me know in the comments below what you would get rid of, because I'm having a hard time with it.
Fair enough. I went opposite of not selling, but I wanted to be able to play some games without bringing in a lot of inventory into the room, because I myself went from a basement and now I'm basically in a bedroom in a condo. This is the new game room, so it's condensed down, not as much as Jay, but I wanted to get a N64 EverDrive. This way it has all the games on it and it plays well. I have N64 games on my SNES Classic to emulate, but they run terrible.
Yeah.
So if you just get the EverDrive, it's a cartridge that will plug into your system and use the system's hardware to run the game. It's going to run a lot smoother. So I definitely want to look into getting that. And then I've seen videos on, it's called the X Station. It's a PlayStation mod that you basically put like an SD card into your PlayStation instead of having an optical drive, and you load the games through that. So that could be kind of cool to get a bunch of games that way and play it. Because again, you try to emulate that on like another system, it's usually slow or weird.
You're right.
So I thought that'd be fun. And then I was gonna get some more figures. Probably NECA. They make really good figures. I have the Freddy, Jason, and Batman NECA ones that they put out, and Godzilla and RoboCop. I forgot those are boxed away.
Do you take yours out of the package or leave them in?
I do take them out of the package.
And you haven't had any issues with them?
No, I bought they sell little stands, and they actually came with. I have the box behind them because it's almost like the game screenshot of where they would be. So I stand them in front of the box or whatever.
Gotcha.
So I have those, and then I have the Ninja Turtles. I have Super Shredder and Toka and Razar.
The only reason I asked that question is because I feel like I was watching Retro Blasting, and they were kind of talking about how some of those NECA figures weren't made very well. So I didn't know what your experience was with that.
I mean, I'm not playing with them. I'm posing them, and then they sit in a case. So they do pretty good for that.
Cool.
Yeah. That was it. Those are my 2 collection goals. I'm sure I'll get some games throughout there. I don't have any real urge to buy any retro games. I will say I'll probably buy some new homebrew games.
Yeah.
By the time this podcast comes out, I would have already live streamed Full Quiet is a new NES game for 2023 put out by Retrotainment. I backed it on Kickstarter a few years ago and got to play it at some of the conventions that they were showing it off, and it showed up on my birthday. And I got the complete in-box copy, and it looks awesome. So I'm going to dive into it.
Full Quiet.
Full Quiet. Yeah.
What's it kind of like?
It's almost like an open world adventure game. Your son gets kidnapped and brought into the woods. So then you traverse the woods, and you have to climb towers and get radio signals. You have a rifle, and so you're running through the woods, shooting enemies and stuff like that. So not sure what to expect, or it's supposed to be a fairly large game, so I don't know if I'm going to get lost, but should be a good time.
Did they at least give you a map? Do you know?
I think you do get a map, an in-game map, yeah. So that would be helpful.
That'll be good. That's cool. Sounds sweet.
We got gaming goals.
Gaming goals. So, one of my biggest gaming goals, I think on the last podcast we had talked about me playing Metroid Dread, and I mentioned maybe I would play it over Christmas break.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
I actually played it today.
Did you?
I live streamed it quickly on TikTok for a little bit, and I guess because I beat it, it unlocked what mode was it called? Training mode or something. It's basically easy mode. So I was like,
you beat
okay.
it?
I had beat it when it came out. Yeah.
So maybe I need to pick your brain on this one part. So I won't do it now, but I'll save it for later. But yeah, I want to beat Metroid Dread, and there are a few NES games that I have yet to beat. One of them is Little Nemo, the Dream Master.
Oh yes, yeah.
I've never beat that. I think I've gotten about to the train.
As
maybe
I say, the train stuff. Yeah,
train's pretty tough. I may have gotten past it once, but yeah, I want to beat that, and I would like to beat Crystallis.
Okay.
And I got to finish Xanadu.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to finish that.
The other gaming goal that I have, I started a game last year, and I can't believe I stopped playing it because I was really into it. But I got to finish Chrono Trigger.
Oh, okay, nice.
For the Super Nintendo. Yep.
I like playing it on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
They did a remake on that. Or like I would say a port, not a remake. It's a port, but they include the PlayStation's cut scenes that they had on that. Like, so it's kind of best of both worlds. And they actually have a slot to show you which ending you got and how many different endings there are.
That's kind of rad.
So you can be like, oh, I still didn't get like 4 endings, so I want to like beat it at this point or whatever.
That's smart. I like that.
Yeah. Pretty neat. For my gaming goals, I have would definitely love to beat a few games that are on my backlog. Top of the list, Breath of the Wild. Let's lock this out. I'm playing it on the Wii U.
Dude, that's so funny because that should be a gaming goal of mine, but I don't know, man.
Got to beat it before the next one comes out.
I won't play the next one because I didn't like the first one.
Yeah, see? But I did add a few others. So I also never beat Skyward Sword. So I would like to beat that game as well. And Twilight Princess.
Okay, so some Zelda.
Some Zelda action going on. And then I did add Metroid Prime. I actually never beat any of the Prime games, but I figured I'd just start with regular.
I've never even played any of those.
It's just tough for me to play the first person perspective games. I did get into Doom and BioShock, which were first person.
Yeah, BioShock was amazing.
Definitely really fun games. I have the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Wii, and I heard it was a little bit better playing on that. Rather than the first two were on GameCube, and then the last one was on Wii. So they did like a 3-pack bundle thing on the Wii. Or maybe we'll get a Switch release with 4 in the far distant future coming out.
Yeah, it's possible. I remember going to a lake house with my family. We all rented it and stayed there. And one of the things they had was a GameCube, and they had Metroid Prime. But I never got around to playing it. But
okay,
yeah, so I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I mean, some Metroid games, first person. You do the same stuff. You look for your morph ball. You look for some missiles.
There you go. I can see that.
Podcast goals. What are we looking to do with the podcast? Well, we are newly what would you say it? Newly recruits, I guess, of the Dorkening Podcast Network.
That's right. Thank you guys.
So we're on there. So I'm hoping, me and you have to record a nice promo so people can use that on their podcast to promote us.
Excellent.
So hopefully we'll get some more viewers, more listeners, whether that be on YouTube or Spotify. And I just found out that Spotify is also offering video podcasting as well.
Nice.
So it's like a separate upload. I have to use a website called Anchor. And you upload the video format to that. And when you're scrolling through Spotify, it shows the weekly Warp Pipe with a white background is our audio podcast. And with the blue background would be the video podcast. So if you listen on Spotify, you can check us out video-wise as well.
Take a look at these handsome faces.
I did want to try to, I don't know, maybe try to make it more dynamic. I know we have the stock screen here with our TV and then the logo, but I do enjoy podcasts where it's almost full picture of us.
Yeah.
If I can maybe add in like us talking to the camera as a full frame and then switch to you. I just have to logistically think it out how I would edit it, or if we can use Streamlabs here to play around with editing on the live feed.
Sounds like a lot of extra work.
It does. I don't know if it would be worth it in the long run, because also adding all the B-roll to the side screen sometimes takes me forever. So listen to this, the side story. We did our commercials episode, Christmas commercials that we loved from back in the day. If you can check it out, I put the podcast up. It got like 100 something views, no issues. I was like, all right, let me promote it. And I'll grab some screenshots, and I go there and I'm like, why is there nothing on the TV? I check my edit, and I wanted a black border around the TV in case there was like nothing on screen. It would just be a black TV.
Right.
I put that above where the commercials were, so you didn't see any of them. So I had to re-export it, re-upload it. This was re-uploading on, I believe, on Christmas. And I got it up there, and then I took down the other one. So the new upload one only got like 70 views. So it would have got well over 200 had I put the correct one up.
So all of you that watched and listened the first time, go back and do it one more time.
Yeah. And leave a comment and thumbs up the video. Shoot. So yeah, I'm just trying to, we're going to see what happens if it's feasible to keep that going. That's why I was like, maybe if I just do us talking and like having it bigger and then cut to you and then maybe a side, maybe that'll be more dynamic. Who knows? We could try it for a few episodes. If it sucks, you guys don't like it, you can post feedback and we could go back to this.
The only podcast, and it's not even a podcast, it's like a sports radio show that I watch every day at 3:00. It's called The Real Kipper and Born. It's a Toronto-based podcast about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm a nerd for hockey. What do you want? But they kind of have this similar setup to us. So.
With like this here, yeah.
Yeah, but they also film in a room together. So, I mean, they could do like a expanded shot of both of them if they really wanted to.
Right. That's what makes it tough where we're in separate states. So basically we could do what we can with the video here. Whether I crop in or whatnot, then I don't know, because we're recording through StreamYard as a live session, and then I take that video and chop it up or whatever and do the intro, outro.
Russ does all the magic. I do nothing.
At least he's honest. You do come up with some topics though, so
that's right.
This was Jay's topic. I was like, "What are you thinking we're doing?" He's like, "How about these goals? Bang, 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 boom."
Yep, bam, done. That's how I roll. I mean, podcast goals for me would just be see more people, come and check us out, listen to us, and help Russ's channel grow. I don't get anything from this. This is Russ's channel, and I just enjoy being here with him. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, I just want to see it be successful.
Yeah, we should be close to the monetization of the YouTube channel by now. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I believe we're about 300 watch hours off. So I imagine in the next month or so, because with the podcast being 40 minutes or so, if you guys are listening to the full thing and it gets, 100 something views on YouTube and we're putting out one a week, then we should get there pretty quick. And then we'll see. I don't know if then YouTube will promote it more. Who knows?
I try to listen on Saturday mornings myself because like half the time I'm like, what did I even say? Let me go back and listen.
What was I even talking about?
What was I talking about? What was I singing that time? So yeah.
Let's see. Before we get into our two other topics there, I did put up a little poll on our YouTube page. I did a question and a poll. So I did say, Happy New Year, everyone. We ask you, what are some of your gaming related resolutions you might have for 2023? What do we got here? Turbo Jesse, to actually play more than a few hours of a game, like before I move on.
There you go.
So I guess he's jumping the gun, moving on too fast. Maybe he's enjoying the game and then something else comes along and he dives into that and then you forget to go back to that game. You could have that issue.
It's easy to do.
They bounce around. It's tough for me to play multiple games at once on multiple different systems. Like if I'm playing Ghostbusters on PS4 and then hop over to the Switch and play something there, and then remember to play a retro game on Nintendo. It's like,
Right.
keep this organized. Waves and games. To enjoy a game outside my normal genre pool. Specifically, I want to play some of the street games, NBA Street, FIFA, etc.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't say I ever played any of those. I remember the covers of them. The way the covers depicted it, I almost feel like it's more like the NBA Street would be like an NBA Jam, right?
Kind of cartoony.
Right, very arcadey, like
Not super serious. Yeah.
Yeah, so okay. M&J to finally finish Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
It's a good goal.
I've started the game at least 20 times, and I get over halfway done and get distracted and never come back to it, and then just decide to restart every time.
Yeah, that was me with Breath of the Wild, but it only happened twice.
And then you gave up.
I did it on the Wii U, and then I couldn't remember what I was doing, so I picked it up on the Switch.
Yeah.
Got 30 hours in, and I was like, this is taking too long. Done.
Jeez. Now, so with this option, you can play Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. I don't know if that would help some. That would be my advice, because then you could play it on the go. You could play it laying in bed before you go to bed, get a little bit in before bedtime, and maybe it'd just be easier rather than having to sit down on the couch in front of the TV. So,
see, I'm such a purist. I would have a hard time with that.
Okay.
I'd feel like I have to play it on the 64. So there's dueling competing ideas for you.
And we got one more. I'd say this is a first-time commenter and haven't recognized this name before. His icon is Mario in the frog suit.
Nice.
And the username's Underwater Levels.
Dude, that's my buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know what's funny about Underwater Levels? He's a hockey fan too. So sometimes I see him in like hockey chats.
Nice. Yeah. So he says, to finally beat Sunset Riders on SNES. It's one of my favorite games, but I'm terrible at running guns.
Same here.
That's definitely a fun one for sure. And then I did put up a poll asking you guys, what are some gaming New Year's resolutions you might have for 2023? I gave you 3 options. We got beat some games in the backlog, 54%. So most people were trying to crank that out. Get more games for a certain system you collect for came in with 21%. And sell off a portion of things you don't need, 25%. So they're with you, Jay, on that.
Yep.
We had 2 comments on it. Gamer Aimer.
I read this one.
Never selling.
Never selling.
Collecting more and playing more. Pretty much adding to game libraries, finding more displays, enjoying conventions, and having fun gaming. I have no idea where she's going to fit all this stuff.
Brandy will carry those games with her lifeless dead hands into her grave.
She's going to have to get one of those giant like buildings to fit everything in.
Brandy, you're a freak of nature with all your crazy collecting. She has some of the dopest stuff I've ever seen, though.
It's really cool stuff. I was almost able to swing by the house and check it out because we were driving back from Virginia, but the wife was pregnant still and was like, we got to get home. I'm like, that's fine. So,
wait, like she's still pregnant? Correct?
She's still pregnant currently.
Okay, I was like, whoa, something happened I didn't hear about.
And then showed 86 gaming goal for this year is to play through the NES Castlevania games.
Nice. I'm down with that.
Currently have about 6 games in my gaming queue to finish before, though. Yeah, that's fun. Like setting those like series goals is pretty good. So he's doing Castlevania. I'm kind of doing Zelda and Metroid because I got to beat Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. And then if I beat Metroid Prime 1, I might as well go on to 2 and 3 to keep the story consistent if I enjoy 1.
I beat Super Metroid this past weekend when I was in Ohio. Love that game.
I did see you post that. I haven't played, so I've been on a huge Metroid kick, and I've been streaming Metroid Fusion on my main YouTube channel. So I did that twice, and then just on TikTok, I was streaming Metroid 2 on Game Boy. And then we played Metroid Zero Mission 2 nights in a row, and I beat it last night on stream.
Nice.
And then just randomly, I put on Metroid Dread this afternoon. I'll probably stream after this. Not sure if it'll be a Metroid game, but
have you beat Super Metroid?
I have, yeah. So what's funny with that is when I played that back, in high school, and it was so unique to us to be like, yo, what if we hook up the Super Nintendo to the VCR and we can record our gameplay?
Oh, yeah.
And so we did this, and I did it with Super Metroid. I did a straight playthrough. That was like a speed run back then, which I didn't even know what speed runs were. And I can't find the tape. It's on a VHS tape. I do have the VHS tape of me playing Mega Man X, though. And I did a very short video on that on my YouTube channel. Unfortunately, it's just the gameplay. It's not me talking because we didn't have any way to incorporate that through the VHS player.
Right.
So it's just like a normal playthrough, just knowing it's me. And it's like bad quality because of this VHS.
Were you pretty good at it? Like, were you able to get through it pretty quickly?
On Mega Man X, I believe I was dying a lot in one area. So I got hung up in one area. But, I finished it. We had played it enough. And me and my friend Sean ended up playing through Metroid so many times. I was like, yeah, I think I could beat it like in one sitting. So I went over his house. Would it take 4 hours?
What about Super Metroid? Do you remember how you did on that?
Well, that's what I said. Yeah, Super Metroid. I think it was like 4 hours.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm slow on Super Metroid. I get lost every time.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a big map for sure. Who knew? And I try to collect stuff, which I'm never 100%. Oh, yeah. I don't think I 100%ed any of the Metroid games. I did when we played through Metroid Zero Mission. I missed so many items. I think I missed the high jump boots, if they're in that, because I don't remember getting them. And I never got Screw Attack.
Oh, yeah.
And by accident, I sequence broke and I fought Ridley before Kraid.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And I was like, I didn't mean to do this. Hopefully we could beat him.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
That's neat.
All right. Before we get into our next resolutions, we'll check out some other podcasts that are on the Dorkening Podcast Network that we think you should check out.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Steven.
And I'm Ron.
And we're the hosts of the Super Retro Throwback Reviews audio podcast.
If you like to hear the latest pop culture news with some smart-ass commentary as well as the latest movie reviews, then check us out.
Not to mention, we are a multi-award nominated and now an award-winning podcast, so we're doing something right.
God knows how that happened.
So check us out on all major podcasts and distributors, and check out Super Retro Throwback Reviews on all social media platforms.
Do you like gaming?
This game would be better if it was a battle royale.
Do you like technology?
I bet this tech would work better if it was a battle royale. Do you like movies, TV shows, and everything else that me and Nate can't agree on?
The Last Jedi was easily the best Star Wars film I have ever seen.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Everybody in this room is stupid now because of you.
Talking Gaming and Tech is a bi-weekly podcast where we cover the latest, greatest in gaming and tech. Now part of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Talking Gaming and Tech is a podcast produced by Tech Prime Media. You can find us on YouTube and all other social media platforms. You can find Talking Gaming and Tech on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you get your podcasts from.
This podcast is filmed live.
If you want to check us out while we're filming live, remember to follow links on social media and your comment might be read on air.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Redoctopus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite seems trying to say is that on Retro Redoctopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorkening Podcast Network with new episodes every Technical Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Bridge.
You can listen to Retro Redoctopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
And we're back. All right. So what do we got left here? We got social media goals.
Yeah. So social media goals for me. I mean, right now I'm currently on TikTok only.
Right.
I'm really close to 50K. I kind of would like to hit 50K. And then I say I'm going to like slowly bow out.
Right. Or not take it as seriously, you were saying.
Yeah. But part of me is like, can I get to 100?
You always got to, stretch that next goal.
But I don't know if you've noticed, Russ. I don't know how much attention you pay on TikTok, but I've been posting way less. So I finally posted tonight. I was like, man, it's been like a week since I posted anything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, I think I'm just over it a little bit. But at the same time, but I do want to keep it on though, because I still enjoy streaming on TikTok because it's so easy.
Now, were you ever given a stream key or like have use for a stream key or like know that whole debacle?
I don't know what you mean.
So it's fun. So I started streaming, and the way I do it, it's kind of a workaround. So, right, you could just use your phone to stream on TikTok. You just go live.
That's what I do.
And then you can either have it with the facing camera or facing out, which I've done. I was at a old VHS store and I was live streaming from there. A bunch of people came in. It was a good time. But most people like me and Jay, want to play video games. So how do you capture video games in a vertical format? Okay, it's a little weird. Most people just prop their phone up and then you're recording the TV and kind of whatever's in your room in front of you and all that.
That's me.
You could kind of see the chat. Super basic, super easy.
That's right.
But people can stream from their computer to kind of get a more of a clean look and have the ability to like tweak their audio settings with their microphone and the game audio and all that. But only certain people get the stream key. There's no stipulation on where you need 1,000 people on TikTok to stream, but to get the stream key, it's kind of like hit or miss. Some people get it, some people don't.
How does one know if one gets the stream key?
So if you log into TikTok via your computer, it should say like go live or something, and you should be able to go live on the computer there, and then you'll be able to take your stream key and feed it into like OBS. And then you'll be able to get the stream from there.
Gotcha.
So my workaround is I set everything up in OBS, and then I set my phone up on a tripod, and I zoom in on my phone. So it's just the cropped area of my OBS page. And I have my camera set up just like this, so you can see me, see my gameplay, and then the chat's under it. Which a lot of people are like, this is awesome. Looks great.
It does look great because last time I saw you streaming on there, I was like, dang, Russ, how'd you do it? And you kind of showed me what you were doing.
So that's, I get a lot of conversation with that. And now I used to have the weekly warpipe.com like right under the gameplay.
Yeah.
And I have now switched it to TikTok. Please give me a stream key. And then a lot of people are asking like, well, you're streaming now. Like, what do you mean? So, because I watched a video and they said the only way you can get a stream key is 1, if you know someone at TikTok, 2, if someone from TikTok sees you on the For You page live streaming, they can do it. Or if you email this company, and I already emailed the third-party company, you have to fill out a little survey and they're supposed to either approve you or don't. And I'm like, I have like 30,000 followers and I'm almost streaming every day. Like, why haven't you given me a key?
I think I did get a key because I know somebody. So I'll contact them in a little while and see what I can do for you. But I want to log in and see if I have the key. Now I want to know, do I have the key?
Right, because I'll log in and it'll just say live, and I can view other people's live streams. But
That's
it was
cool.
also interesting. So I've been trying to switch it up on there, and I live stream me playing my arcade one up. So I set my phone up facing the arcade one up. The only downside with that is the camera's way over here, and I can't see the chat.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the problem I always have, because I always have. Well, I guess that's not the problem. I can see the chat; they just can't see me.
Right.
No, that's not true. I don't remember.
You don't remember. But I had tried to put my laptop next to me and bring up the stream so then I would be able to see the chat.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't show up. Like I go to my page and it wasn't showing that I was live streaming. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, why can't I view? I'm going to need another like phone to view the live stream. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's so weird.
So it was something different. I was like, I don't know. Let me try some different live streams. Plus on there, they don't have as strict as YouTube. So I thought maybe I can do some like watch alongs of old VHS tapes of like Double Dragon or like Rescue Rangers or DuckTales or something like that. And I can show that and not get like copyright striked or whatever. So I was like, I don't know. For my goals, I try posting at least once a day, which for the most part, I usually do. And I'm trying to keep up on all the social media platforms. So it becomes tough. So I'm on, you got YouTube. So try to post on like the community page or make a YouTube short. And then Instagram, I'm doing an Instagram reel and the stories option. Then I'm on TikTok, posting usually 2 to 3 times a day on there, posting on Twitter, posting on Patreon, going into my Discord and trying to keep the conversation going there. So it starts to, I get it going for a little bit, then you like lose track and you're like, And I did put, try to comment more on other posts. I did make a nice like bookmark section on my browser with like all my close friends who have like YouTube channels, and I might be able to do it with like TikTok too. So I could just like go to their profile quickly and be like, okay, what was the last like 5 videos they posted? I can leave some comments to have some better engagement.
So I am currently on TikTok on my computer now.
Yeah.
Where would I find this stream?
It's the stream. I mean, off the cuff, I don't know if I would be able to pull it out, but on the left side, it would say following and then live. And then I think under that live, it would say go live. I want to say mine doesn't.
Okay. I have following and then I have live, but I do not see go live.
So maybe you don't have one. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell off the cuff.
It's all good. I just wanted to check real fast, but I'll look into it later.
Fair enough. And then we're polishing off the goals of 2023 with personal goals.
Yeah. So one of my biggest personal goals is to lose about 20 pounds.
Okay. Are you going to gain it back with muscle though?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't
Maybe
mind gaining.
some?
I wouldn't mind gaining it back with muscle. Right now, I sit at about 202 pounds.
Oh, just over.
I was about 206 about a week or two ago.
Okay.
So I've already slimmed down to about 4 pounds, but I kind of have this cycle where I eat a bunch of crap, gain about 20 pounds, and then I'm like, oh, I'm usually like 199, 200, like teetering that space. But this time I went well above it. And so I don't know, man. The dad bod works for some people, but I'm trying not to have that. And I enjoyed having abs a year and a half ago when I had them.
Yeah.
So I've been going to the gym, working out. I've been trying to eat right now. I've really cut down on sugary foods. Like I'm eating like a lot of spinach, a lot of tuna. So like a lot of protein and a lot of like low calorie, high quality foods. Cause like the reason Popeye ate spinach is because it really is a superfood.
Yeah. I would only eat the spinach if it had Popeye in the can when I was growing up.
That's hilarious. It's nutrient dense for those of you that don't know. And so it's packed with a lot of vitamins that are really good for your body, and you can eat literally as much of as you want because it's 10 calories per serving. So you could buy a whole bag and literally eat the whole thing, and it's like 50 calories.
There you go.
So you're in a calorie deficit, and you got lots of vitamins. So it's a win-win. And then you need the protein and working out. So that's a personal goal of mine.
Okay.
And then the other personal goal is I've been watching these people on YouTube do cold plunges.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
So I've started taking cold showers.
Oh, okay.
And you have to, from what I've heard, now this is all on TikTok, the studies show 11 minutes of cold submersion or what's the word? Exposure to the cold.
Exposure.
Yeah. Supposed to benefit you by increasing brown fat, which I guess is a healthy fat.
Okay.
It's also supposed to lower dopamine. Not dopamine. What's cortisol?
Okay.
Which I guess is like a stress hormone, and increased dopamine, which is like your happy hormone.
Right.
And it's also supposed to give you like energy that like maybe you would typically gain through like caffeine, like coffee or like a Red Bull. So I've been doing that some. That is a rush to like basically.
Do you go in hot and then turn it cold, or you just
so at my mother-in-law's I started doing this, and what I would do is I would take like a lukewarm shower.
Okay.
Like I'm soaping up and I'm doing the lukewarm stuff, and then like as the shower progressed, I would notch it down slowly, and then I would finally like build up some what's the word, like a little bit of resistance to the cold,
right,
where I could like, okay, I can handle this now. And then once I kind of get done with the shower, then I just turn it as cold as it gets, and then turn on a timer for 3 minutes. And by the time you're done with it, how like you live up north, so you probably know this well. Like when you go outside in the snow and you don't have like gloves on and you've played in the snow for a while, your hands almost burn.
Yeah.
That's kind of the sensation you get by the time the shower is over. It's almost like an icy hot kind of feel. Like you're cold, but it's also kind of a burning feel. So those are two of my health goals in, just eating right and spending time with my family, and which is why I also got off social media to try to, not all social media, obviously, but YouTube. Editing a lot. So I'm curious how you'll balance that once you have a child.
Right.
To be honest.
I will say I've done in the past the polar plunges.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
They're fine for me. We live right by the water right here, so they do it literally a few blocks up from where we live. And a bunch of people run into it's Long Island Sound, but it's close enough for the ocean. I mean, it's cold. It's in January and we're in Connecticut, so it's definitely cold. One time I did it, it was snowing. And then I had missed it one year when they were doing it. So I just went myself and did it. And I did of course I made like a little video. I actually went out into the water, went back into the car, and then felt I didn't do it good enough. So I went back out to the water, went back in. I wear like water shoes and then just regular swim trunks.
Is it on YouTube? Can I watch this?
Yeah, that one I can. I'll try to remember to leave a link. But yeah, I go running. Because what stunk about that is I was raring to go. It was snowing. Went out there, go to run in the water. It's low tide.
Oh,
and I'm like, I gotta run like a couple blocks before I could get to like pretty deep water. So I tried to sit down and like lay back or whatever. So I didn't go fully submerged under, like dipped in. But had it been high tide in, yeah.
What do you think the temperature of that water was?
Probably like 20 degrees.
Oh wow, that is cold. That is ice cold.
But so once you get in, it ends up being, I want to say, if it's almost warmer in the water than you are outside, because then you get up and then your body's wet and the air, and then it's windy and
right. Yeah, that's the worst part, I'm sure. I can't remember what the temperature they suggest you get in when you're doing these cold plunges, but I want to say it's less than 58 degrees, but it might be even might be even like 36. I can't remember, but it's supposed to be a lot of health benefits. So I'm trying it.
I did do a ice bath challenge where I bought a couple bags of ice and put it in water and jumped into that.
Do you remember either time? Do you feel like it took your breath away?
Yeah, I will say,
because I feel like I'm like,
especially
like gasping.
That, I mean, it's not as bad with that, but when the ice bucket challenge was a big thing. People were doing that. I wanted to hype it up a little bit more, and I was like, I'm gonna play the first level of Super Mario Brothers, and my friend Kevin is gonna continuously dump buckets of ice water on me until I beat it.
Wow.
And I think he had like 8 or 9 buckets set up, and I got so cold it was difficult to talk. I was like kind of choking up or whatever. He helped me out a little bit because he just wasn't like pouring it out, because then he didn't want me to die. So if I was like going over a pit, he would just be like drizzling it and then just like, psh,
wait for you on more heavy land to like. So one thing it does do is it slows your brain function down. Because the other day I just took an ice bath to try that first, and I was trying to talk to my wife, and like I feel like I was getting stupid about a second. I was like, I can't talk right. Anyway.
All right. So for my personal goals, to be a great dad.
Heck yeah.
I'm going to be having a baby. Well, my wife's going to be having a baby about 2 weeks now. We're down to the 2-week mark. It could happen, they said, anytime between now and the due date is January 17th. So it could happen up to then and even 2 weeks after that. So I don't know if baby Gwen's going to come early, on time, or late, but it'll be me and my wife's first child, and should be interesting.
I'm going to say this as a parent who's already experienced having kids. If there's a lapse in the weekly warp pipe for just a brief moment, give Russ a break.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll be off for a month for maternity leave, and I think my wife she's taking some vacation time. Her last day is Friday, and then she'll be off for a week with vacation, and then she'll take a maternity leave, so she'll be here for a while.
Good.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes with, we got the studio set up right in here. So if I have to podcast and she's out there with the baby, I'm, just an earshot away.
That's right.
And then I'll probably be doing some live streams with the baby as well.
There you go.
Just got to have it on here. I don't know. We do have to pick up, I got to get one of those, like strap things. You put the baby in, like a backpack, whatever they're called.
Dude,
like a harness.
I may have mine still.
Oh, okay.
If I can find it, I'll just mail it to you, Russ.
Nice.
If I can find it. I don't know exactly where it would be, but sure, if I got it.
Some baby tote somewhere.
Yeah. If I didn't already sell it, I'm bad about that. So
I got that, and then I just put time management because so much is going to be going on. We'll be curious to see how well I can time manage everything. Usually I'm pretty good with doing... I got 3 YouTube channels, podcasts, streaming, working, spending time with the wife, doing DIY stuff, car stuff. And then we're going to add baby into the mix, which is definitely be a challenge for sure. We don't know how the baby's going to be. Some people are like, oh yeah, they slept through the night, slept all this really easy. Some are just screaming all the time.
That wasn't my experience. My experience was, for the first 9 months of my child's life, I had a headache from the lack of sleep that I got.
Well, so far, I usually sleep between 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, wow. You're like, you're kind of like Aaron then. Like you kind of run high energy all the time. Anyway.
Right. So we'll see how, I'm sure I'm going to be like first up, like if the baby's crying, like my wife is definitely sleeps more than me. And I'll stay up, stream until 2 or whatever. And then it's like, oh, I got work at 6 and whatever.
Dang, Russ, send me some of that energy, buddy. 4 to 5 hours. I mean, I don't know. I guess I go to bed at around 12 or 1 and get up at 6. But man, I guess it seems like longer. Maybe it isn't.
Right. So we'll see how much my energy suits up. I am 41 now, so.
Welcome to 41, Russ.
Got to get my yearly physical coming up soon.
Get your prostate checked.
When is that? 45? Is it 45 or is it?
I don't know. I already had it done once when I was a bit younger.
Like, just in case.
You never know.
This podcast is getting weird now.
Sausage Fingers McGee was his name.
Guys, if you want to find other episodes of us, you can check out theweeklywarpipe.com. And we're also on the Dorkening Podcast Network, along with other great podcasts. So check that out as well. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys next week. And as always, I'm RussLyman. Keep your world fun bit by bit.
Happy New Year's, guys.